affection is what you have.
Once you starve your spouse of it, and if there is an availability of a place to eat outside,
Wait.
you will eat. The women also need affection.
We need affection.
Really?
100% affection. Give it to us.
When he was dating you and sending you love message, you were looking smashingly beautiful. The Bible did not put it in another. It said, let our breast satisfy you. Okay, let me code it. Don't quote what God himself didn't quote. Hello, wonderful viewers. You are welcome back to our channel. My name is Sheyi.
My name is Fumi.
And together we are called Sheyi Fumi.
Kindly subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Click on the subscribe button below our video.
Also click on the bell icon beside the subscribe button. This will notify you when we drop a new video.
Follow us on all our social media as shown on the screen.
Thank you.
Welcome back, viewers, to this week's episode of Marriage is Beautiful. We thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
For your likes, for your comments, for the questions, and for watching and sharing our videos.
Thank you so much.
We really appreciate you. We want you to continue to share them, and we want you to continue to support us. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Week episode,
all right,
we will be discussing another type of love that you need in your marriage to make it beautiful. Last week we talked about the sensual love, so today we'll be talking about the agape love.
Agape love.
What exactly is agape love? Agape love is an unconditional love, like the type God has for us.
Agape love is quite different from the sensual love that we discussed last week. This is godly kind of love that has no string attached. It's a kind of love that God has for humankind. And the question is, are we able to replicate God's kinds of love? Of course, we should be able to. Because we are children of God, and as a child of God, we are supposed to behave like God, who is our Father. In marriage, you need agape love also, because there are so many things that goes on in the marriage that is not going right as you wanted, and as of that time, you might not really want to perform your marital vow because you are not in the right frame of mind, or you don't like what is going on. And that's why it is important that as much as sensual love keeps marriage going, agape love is also needed, especially as you grow older and the sensual love diminishes. You rely more on agape love, the fondness you have for one another, the willingness to do things for one another unconditionally. Thank you. I love that word, honey. I love that word. Unconditionally is a love without condition, and that's the kind of love God has for us. And that's the kind of love husband should have for the wife should have for the husband. Honey? What have you seen?
That's the type of love you should have for your wife, not when she's doing what is right, or when she's agreeing with you. No, it should be unconditional. That's the kind of love that Jesus Christ, even the Bible says that even when we are yet sinners, Jesus died for us. Just imagine, the love is unconditional. That means that even when your husband is not doing those things you expect him to do, when he's not in the right standing with you, when he's not agreeing with you, you should still love him.
In some marriages, what you just mentioned now made me to start thinking, even when your husband is not in the right standing with you, it's difficult to be candid. Let's be realistic. It's difficult to love a person that you are angry with. Godly love is unconditional. While you are yet sinner, he loves you.
Yeah.
But for human being, do you think it's all that very easy to keep loving even when the person is not in
like
the right
you're saying, it was not really easy for Jesus Christ to die likewise. Was it easy for him?
No, it wasn't.
It was not easy for him, but he was like, no, this is my cross, I need to carry it, Even when your husband is not in the right standing with you, when your wife is not in the right standing with you, it should be unconditional. You don't need to be like, it doesn't need to be easy. You're already in it, for better, for worse. In the first place, you said for better, for worse. Like nowadays, they try to change it like
for better, for
stay, for worse, for go. For worse to go. No. That's not agape love. For better to stay, for worse to stay. That's it. It doesn't have to be okay when he gives me money. No, when he is doing things right, when he agree with me. For some wives or for some women, like I had someone that said something like that when they disagree, no sex. You can't touch me.
That's a topic I really want to look into.
You can't touch me.
I really want to look into.
That's not, that's not right. The love should be unconditional. And that's why you should learn your spouse. Once you know your spouse, there are levels of, like, you don't drag issues. Once you know yourself. Okay, my husband is not going to say sorry. Even if I like, I should stay for 1 month. He's not coming back to say sorry. So what am I waiting for? Say sorry and go. Okay, like, my wife is not going to say sorry. Even if I talk from now till next year. Okay, right. You already understand the kind of person she is.
Yeah. One will be a little bit docile, and the other one will be a little bit stubborn. In marriage, I know it is difficult for husband and wife to keep smiling even when they disagree.
Sure.
But that, like my wife said, that is not the criteria for you to say, you are not doing what I like, so I am also going to put padlock on it.
I'm going to punish him for that.
Yeah,
no.
You don't punish each other with that. Denying him of his right will have a bad effect on the two of them. For some ladies out there, they will say, I asked him to give me 1 or 2 things. I need some money for this. I need to do some shopping here and there. And he refuses. And until he does that, well, I am also going to
switch off.
Don't switch off. Because when you switch off, there are some other people out there that will switch on.
Sure.
And like
what we said last week.
Like what we said last week. If somebody out there switch on for him, he forgets about everything.
Then you push him out.
You will have pushed him out, and by the time he tastes what goes on outside, the Bible said food that is eaten in secrecy is sweeter. So when he tastes something out there that is not supposed to, then you find it very difficult to bring him back in. Don't switch off on him.
Yeah, don't switch off.
Allow him to enjoy the blessing of having you as a wife.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean I'm talking about women alone.
Yeah, it's not limited to women alone. Like for men,
there are some men out there.
Yeah.
The moment your wife didn't do what you expect her to do, or she does something that you don't really like,
it's not interesting to you,
the next thing is you won't put money down in the house. Listen,
it's not needed, or you're not going to show her affection again. Like
if God,
you don't drop your kisses in the morning,
you
don't call again. You're like, look, what am I calling her for? You don't want to show her affection, and those things really hurt, honey.
The right thing is for men to continue to do their marital obligation, irrespective of whether there is misunderstanding or not. The misunderstanding that you have does not free you from performing your marital obligation. The best way to end any disagreement is to be more loving. Even if your spouse doesn't really want the disagreement to end, by the time you show more love, he will be asking himself, she will be asking herself, why am I really doing this?
Always give consideration to your spouse.
Of course.
Yeah. Don't punish him because of what he did, or because of what she did that is wrong, or that you don't like, or that you don't want.
Why are we discussing agape love in the first place?
Yeah.
We're discussing agape love because this is what holds marriage much more than the sensual love.
Yeah.
Sometimes the sensual love give a relief for a few periods.
Yeah.
But agape love is what keeps the marriage thick, keep it going, even in the midst of adversities.
Yeah.
You won't always feel sensual towards one another, but you can always maintain an agape love to keep the marriage going. It is not an easy task for husband or for wife to love one another even when they are angry with one another. But just like a parent will not throw a child away because the child offended him or offended her.
Sure.
The same love that you have for your child that you keep forgiving even when they are misbehaving should be the same love you should have for your husband and for your wife.
Yeah.
Understand this. There is no way that we go together on a journey without stepping on each other's toes.
Yeah.
And when we do that, you focus on the love that you have to be able to forgive. Agape love, in one sense, forgives even when you don't deserve forgiveness. For an example, when you have an agape love for your spouse, you put your spouse above yourself in everything. Love your neighbor as yourself. All right, that's what the Bible says. We agree. How much did you love yourself? And how much did you love your spouse? See, love your neighbor as yourself is there because God knows it is difficult for us to love another person like as we love ourselves. There is a story that I read about a couple some times ago. They were poor and they don't have money, but the wife has a very long hair and she needs a comb to keep the long hair from neat and from tangling. The comb that she has in the house has broken. So she was telling the husband that I wish I have a new comb to be able to make my hair neat. The husband also has a wristwatch that he treasures so much, and the wristwatch is not working. And he's like, I wish I have some little money to repair this wristwatch so that it can work. So the husband left for work one day and he went to a shop where they are selling used things and decided to trade his wristwatch to be able to buy comb for his wife. And the wife left the house and went to a place where they are selling woman hair and decided to cut the long hair and sell it so that he can buy a new wristwatch for the husband. So they got back home in the evening. Each one of them, Oni, was putting the other before himself. The wife considered the husband before herself, and she decided that I can do away with the long hair. At least let my husband has a working wristwatch. And the husband said, okay, this wristwatch is not working, doesn't matter. Let me sell it off. Even if it is working, my wife needs a comb. Both of them got home that night only to realize that what happened to your wristwatch? Said, I sold it. I wanted to buy a comb to surprise you. Here is the comb. And the wife said, and the husband said, what happened to your hair? Said, I cut it off and I sold it because I want to buy a new wristwatch for you. Listen, both of them got their wish. The hair will grow back again. And the woman already has a comb. The wristwatch is gone, but the man has a new wristwatch. This is what we mean by agape love in marriage. You wanting to do something for your spouse, considering him or her above yourself. If there is anything in marriage, it is inconveniences. You have to inconvenience yourself. What is marriage for? Like they say, what is friend for? If not for inconveniences. Definitely, we said there are things that you have to drop to be able to make a good marriage. I, me, myself, and mine are 4 friends of yours that you have to drop. And in agape love, you consider your spouse above yourself.
In conclusion of this week's episode, we want to tell the husbands out there that they should not deprive their wife of the affection they suppose or they need to give to them. Because they're not in good time, they are not in agreement. No, you should not deprive your wife of what you need to do. Show her affection.
Show her affection even when she's making you angry.
She's making you angry. Still show her affection. It's necessary. It's very necessary, and that gives her more confidence. Like, no, my husband loves me. And for the wives, please don't punish your husband for no reason. Forgive him. That's why you need to learn to forgive in advance. Forgive in advance. Even when you are hot, still don't deprive him of what he's entitled to.
No, you won't get it too. I'm angry. No.
Let him enjoy what. Stop it. You don't need to hold your body. And let me tell you, you're only punishing yourself likewise. So enjoy what you need to enjoy, and let him enjoy himself too. And at the same time, spouses should learn to consider their spouse above themselves. Don't think of yourself alone. Before you think of yourself, think of your spouse.
Before you think of yourself, think of me.
Before you think of yourself, think of me.
Likewise.
Before you get angry, consider him. How is he going to feel? Consider her. How is she going to feel? Before you like, oh, he's not agreeing with what I'm saying. Consider him. Put yourself in his shoe. If I'm the one, am I going to take it? If she is the one, is she going to take it? Let's work on the agape love. It's going to really help our marriage and make it more beautiful.
Next week, we'll still consider the 3rd type of love. And until then,
Ifumi is saying, thank you. We love you. Bye.